Hey Scorpio, what's going on? Let's see what's going on in your reading today. Scorpio. Your ruling planet is actually in your 7th house of relationships. So Mars is in Taurus right now, which is, it doesn't really like being there. But maybe this is saying that there needed to be a change in some way, you know? Something needed to be realized for your own good. Right? Or maybe for Taurus's own good. I don't know if you have a Taurus in your life, but something definitely needed to be realized and understood in relationships with you. Right? Breaking, it's like Mars is kind of independent, you know? Your actions are independent of the traditions that you are conditioned to kind of like be influenced by. And Uranus is also in your 7th house too. So your original partner or the people that you are used to dating may differ from what you like are starting to like be interested in, or like for those of you who are single. Let's go ahead and see what your cards are talking about. The Wheel of Fortune. The Star card. Princess of Pentacles. Okay, so the Star card and the Wheel of Fortune is actually very interesting because Jupiter is like the esoteric ruler of Aquarius, right? And when we look at that, we're talking about like differences, diversity. We're talking about friends. We're talking about maybe something starting off as friends, right, with someone, or maybe something just kind of like starting out as like a friendly conversation, and then you start to kind of like gain perspective on that conversation or gain perspective on that interaction with that person, and then you start to see that there being some more meaning there being a little bit more value within that came from that experience, you know what I mean? And it's almost like you probably are seeing an opportunity to make something real happen from this. It's also new beginnings with the Page of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles talks about like materials that are needed on this, you know, in this next phase or in this next journey. You know, you might have to acquire something that you didn't have to acquire before, or there might be some innovative ways of you working, you know. The Star card is here and it's asking you to trust in this new way of doing things, because there could be something beneficial here. You know, you don't want to be too rigid, or you don't want to be too set in your I don't know, obsolescent ways. You don't want something to just kind of like be the same way that it always has been, when you can see that there's a benefit to changing it. You see what I mean? King of Pentacles, yep. The Hermit, Earth. 2 of Pentacles, right. So it's like the King of Pentacles is here, which is Taurus, and that's your 7th house. We were just talking about that. And then it's also, sorry, I don't know why I'm looking at the time. Maybe you're on a deadline for something, or maybe you need to do something in a timely way, timely fashion. The Hermit is here, which is saying that too. So maybe you've waited long enough to resist making this change, or maybe you've waited long enough and you feel like something has become obsolete, and that's why the Hermit is definitely related to that, right? With the Star card being something that's innovative, and then this is being something that's kind of like old and a little bit dusty. So it's saying like change the way that something is being like delivered, and then you'll get more value out of it. You know what I mean? Definitely there's enterprise here, right? And then you have the King of Pentacles on the other side. So there's definitely a way to make this work, make this project work. There might be some challenges that you face here, because the King of Pentacles is related to the Four of Pentacles, and that is kind of like not fearing the obstacles, you know, because I feel like you are well equipped, or you have what it takes, you know what I mean? And the King of Pentacles definitely has what it takes, kind of like easily. But there might be a little bit of fear and reluctance here, because it might just be with timing. Timing might be a factor, or you might just be feeling like you're taking more of a risk than you need to. But what you could actually get out of it could go beyond what you anticipated or beyond what you expected. There could be more on the other side of it. You know, there's more behind the veil. There's something that you can't see. You only see like where things might go wrong, and not where things could actually really pay off in the end, you know. It might be a little bit clumsy in the beginning too, but that's great, because that gives you something to like work off of, and something to build and grow from. You know what I mean? Think of like, I love Drag Race, so think of how like Drag Race looked in the first season, but people were living for it then, and think about what it looks like now, okay? And they, you know, Rue was talking about how they were in her basement, and they had drapes on the wall to make it look like a soundstage or a studio. So it's kind of like that, working within your limitations, but also having the hope and the aspirations for something better, or to do something better in the future. You know what I mean? When time permits or time allows, like that type of thing. So it's like improvements that are happening, and wanting to go bigger, but not being able to do it just so right now, but also being able to offer something that was a little bit ingenious and different, you know what I mean, to try to like bring balance to a situation that seems like it's a little bit mundane or obsolete, and some people are getting bored, or you're getting bored with work. So you need to change a little bit things up, and you're trying to discover something newly valuable within what you do for a career, or what you do for your work, you know, changing it up in some kind of way so that you feel like there's more value, or there's new value that's being brought to it. Yeah, that's gonna be your proofread, Scorpio. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot there, and my personal account is NYC Kendrick. If you would like to get a reading with me, email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. Later, Scorpios.